I'm here in Sharbot Lake, Ontario again. This time I'm not riding on the K&P Trail. I'm going to take this one right here, which is the Tay-Havelock Trail. The mission today is to get all the way from Sharbot Lake to where it ends at the trailhead in Perth. So this is kind of a cool little trail where there's a lot of variety on offer. Hopefully the sun stays out for a little while. Be cool to get some good footage on the way to Perth. So this is the trail that I kind of got lost on last year, thinking that the K&P came out this way here. And I headed down the Tay-Havelock for a little while and didn't quite realize that this wasn't the way that I was supposed to be going. But now, I know for sure this is definitely the way I want to be going, and time to hit up the trail and just enjoy the ride. Okay, no cars. Makes life easy. It's looking dark and foreboding. Now I might be stopping off at a couple of different places along the way here. It all depends what the scenery is like. And I do apologize if things get really bumpy, especially here at the beginning. But this section of the trail is actually a little rough. So I'm going to be just kind of searching out the worst of the rocks, trying to avoid them, and just find the line. There we go. Now this is cool. This is an old railway bridge right here, but you can see instead of it being metal on both sides, this one here still has all the timbers, and it's actually got a really, really cool old train smell to it too. So look at this. Peaceful here. Well, time to keep going. Now there is a chance of rain here tonight. There's about a 30% chance all the way from Sharbot Lake to Perth. So if I get lucky, I'll be able to make this trip without getting wet, but you never know what you're gonna get till you get it. Avoid the worst of these puddles as best as I can. Oh, look at this. Raised up on both sides already. Probably a good 25 feet up. Flooded forest down there. Pretty cool. Sharbot Lake could be a really cool place to live if you were really into rail trails. Just having both the Trans-Canada Trail and the K&P Trail just crisscrossing right through town. I think I'll go this way. Oh wow, really high up here. And it's pretty dark too. I know the stability on the 360 camera can take a hit whenever I go through dark sections, so I'm kind of hoping it's okay. Still got about 2 hours of sunlight left, but unfortunately it's all cloud cover today. You can't control the weather, so I just go out whenever I'm able to, and temperature was great today, high of 24. We've been having highs of about 31, 32 degrees Celsius, and On top of that, there was a lot of humidity, which put it around 40. So getting out today was kind of my first real opportunity. Oh, this is cool. Neat little slow curving trail. So the Tay-Havelock isn't a trail that I've heard talked about a lot. People do ride the Trans-Canada Trail. Of course, they do go through this section here on their way to Ottawa, more so than taking the K&P down to the Cataraqui and then going from Smiths Falls to the Ottawa Valley Recreational Trail. This is a lot quicker. Going down to the Cataraqui Trail is a longer detour. So that would be more scenic going down to the Cat Trail, but most people, when they're doing long haul rides, they're trying to save a little bit of time, so they'll come through here. But as far as any videos that I've seen posted on the Tay-Havelock, there are a couple, but not too many. And that's kind of what's made me curious to come on out here and just sort of see what's what and experience it for myself. I definitely remember this section. This was a lot rougher last year. This isn't bad. This is easily rideable. But last year there were a lot bigger rocks, all kind of strewn across the trail. And now it looks like enough time's passed and they've kind of gotten packed down into the trail a bit. No, I'm not going to drive through those puddles. If I was an ATV, of course I would. Wow, look at this. That is cool. Always worth stopping when you get to a point like this. It's one thing to want to get through these trails and see everything, but you're not stopping to smell the roses. There's no point of doing these rides. This is just kind of interesting, seeing this old flooded out forest right here to my right. Makes me wonder, what's the story? How did this get flooded? Was it when the railway came in? I'm going to say no, because it doesn't look like there's anything on the other side. Riding surface has changed. Definitely a lot more sandy than what it was before. This is pretty cool. I don't know how long the sun's going to be with me, but I'm going to take it while it's here. Originally, it's supposed to be a mix of sun and clouds tonight, no chance of rain, but clouds kind of rolled in around 5 o'clock, and it's kind of rained on and off since. But now that I'm out here on the trail, sun's poked out. The weather is just beautiful. I mean, man, you can't ask for more. I'm also kind of glad too, because getting from the car to Sharbot Lake, it didn't rain all too much, so nothing really worth complaining about. So at this point, I'm starting to peel away from the Trans-Canada Highway and go a little bit south. Should be a couple of causeways. And right here is as far as I went down the trail last year before I headed back north, joined up with Highway 7, and went back to Sharbot Lake. Trail's in a lot better condition now. So this one has got what I call character. Oh wow, nice rock cut. We're already seeing a lot of variation on the trail, and that's what I love to see. Neat area. You just imagine the train conductor is coming through here. Probably enjoyed the views. Oh. Yeah, it's still raised up over everything here too. It's always a neat experience when you're on trail like this. I know this year here, I've done a lot of edited videos, and I haven't done too many rail trails, and the rail trails I have done have been pretty short. But what I wanted to do was just make sure I was in as good a shape as I could be to do rides like this. Wow, if you look at this section, oh, this is really cool. This is worth stopping for. So look at this, huh? Wow, just beautiful. All right, let's keep going. Makes such a difference when the sun is out. Trail is very, very different here. This is very easy to ride. Still a little bumpy, but that's what makes it interesting. Just kind of experiencing what there is. Got a lot of sensation coming at you visually, balancing, the smells out here, the sounds. That's what makes riding rail trails really unique and interesting to me. Another cool rock cut. Raised up nice and high over everything here. Wow. Pretty cool scenery. Oh, looks like we got some caution tape here, so part of the trail must have washed away with the storms we've had lately. So it's starting to get a little bit later in the day, 7:30 right now. Wow. This is absolutely stunning here. Wow. I've said it before, but sometimes you just have to stop and take it in. Pretty cool little trail. It's got a ways to go. I'm going to take the right side here. Wasn't too bad. Take the left here. There we go. Yep, definitely super lucky with the sunlight tonight. I really wasn't expecting to get that, so I'm very happy about that. Sometimes when I get quiet like I did just there, it's just because I'm taking in my scenery. I'm just really enjoying what I'm seeing and just appreciating it. And that's the big difference between doing real-time videos and doing the edited videos, is that in the edited videos, those moments still happen, but I can take them out. But in the real time, you know, this is my experience. This is real. This isn't me putting on a show for YouTube. So I do tend to get lost in the moment, and I know it doesn't make for really exciting videos or anything like that, but my experience. And like always, When I ride these rail trails, I think my favorite thing to say is the word wow. And wow, that's beautiful. Kind of gives off some Tay-Havelock Trail-like vibes for me right here. Not quite as high as up around Tay-Havelock, but still that same kind of feeling. This one here I won't stop at, but I'm sure there'll be more stops along the way. Wow, to my left, that's beautiful. I've got to sort of pick and choose where I'm stopping now, because I realize that I'm going to be running out of daylight in about another hour and 20 minutes or so. And at that point there, once I'm out of daylight, I'm out of daylight. And I really would like to try to keep as much of the sun with me here as I can. So once again, the trail has changed. It's more like 2 ruts, a little rougher. Just kind of watching out for big rocks here and making my way through. See, I don't have Kevlar inserts or anything like that in my tires, so a blowout is always a possibility. Not something you want, but it can happen. Tay-Havelock Trail sign. Oh yeah, this is cool. On a causeway here, marshlands both sides of me. Just beautiful. Oh, look at this. All right, so let's talk about the puddles. So overall, this has actually been pretty good so far. These aren't bad, they're easily avoidable. We had a big storm roll through here just the other day, so I'm not surprised to see a couple of wet spots on the trail, but on the flip side, it's also been pretty dry leading up to the storm that we had the other day, so I don't think I'll see any big washouts like how I experienced when I tried doing the Tay-Havelock south of Sharbot Lake last year. It's 23-kilometer mile marker right there, so it means 23 clicks till I get to the town of Perth. That's not bad. And I can easily avoid this one right here. Very nice. So yeah, just sort of touch base on how I'm feeling. I'm feeling good. All that riding I've done this year here in the spring has definitely prepared me for some longer rides. So all said and done today, I'm probably looking at about 72 kilometers on the Tay-Havelock. So it's a end-to-end kind of ride. Which isn't bad. That's actually pretty normal for me when I go and do a medium length ride. It's usually about 80 kilometers is where I like to call it a day. This is cool. We've got another little curve here. Yeah, I'm digging this trail. Pretty cool. So this is definitely a lot wider than the Tay-Havelock Trail, and I can see why. This would be the section of the Trans-Canada Trail that most people would ride on, so it's going to definitely be a lot wider. And also ATVs are allowed on this. They're not on the Tay-Havelock Trail. So I think go on the right side here. But it's very different than the Ottawa Valley Recreation Trail. One of the things that didn't appeal to me about that one was just how wide it was. But this one here is about the same width in a lot of sections, but I'm not getting that same kind of vibe from it. I think maybe it might be because of the beautiful scenery like this all around. I can't put my finger on it, but this is nice. I like this. And I'm not all about where, you know, oh, a trail's got to be single trail and dirt for me to like it, and, you know, everything else is garbage. No. I'm pretty open to all sorts of new experiences. And there's just something about this that, yeah, I'm really digging. Cool rock cut. Just imagine the old locomotives just chugging through here. I think this one's a lefty. Wow. Oh, this is beautiful. Wasn't expecting this. Wow. Let me go ahead a little bit here. Looks like there's a old railway bridge. I want to see what kind of view I've got up here. I'm not alone. People fishing. Oh, that's a nice view. Skirt the edge, do it again. That was a little bouncier than I thought. Yeah, Tay-Havelock definitely has its own vibe. This is very different than the K&P, very different than the OVRT, very different than the Tay-Havelock Trail. And even shorties like the Osgood Link Trail are really, really different than this. Curious about what's going to be coming up ahead. So it looks like this must be a parking lot access point. It's kind of surprising because there isn't a whole heck of a lot around here. Okay, no cars. Is it just me, or has the trail widened and the gravel's different here? Yeah. Huh. I like that. Oh. I think we got a car coming up here. Must be a house or cottage or something on this section of the trail. Well, it looks like we've got a fallen branch going over the path here. Always love going under these things. So far, no branches on the path though. I wasn't too sure after the storm we had if that would be a thing to worry about or not, but looks pretty good. Really pretty country. Oh, there's the cottage. Probably where they were coming from. Man, I wish I would have known about these rail trails, like, so you could cycle on them years ago. I would have started coming out here and doing these when the first one was made. This is definitely my thing. Okay, no cars, Boiling Brook Road. So I'm hoping to get to Perth before the sun sets. I think I've got enough time to do it. Huh. It's funny in my brain, I have this vision of the trains running through here still. Wow, this is beautiful. So this would be another causeway going through marshlands. Now, what's surprising is it looks like there's a bunch of little trees that are growing up on both sides. Usually in the marshlands, trees don't do so well. They seem to rot out, but whatever these things are, looks like they're actually not just growing, but thriving. There's so many of them. Wonder what kind of trees they are. Wow, look at this one. That's an old one. So the quality of the trail is definitely really improved now that I've gotten away from Sharbot Lake. I don't know if it's because people don't venture out quite as far here, so the trail isn't as damaged from all the ATVs, or if it's just better maintained, or more recently maintained. This is cool. Looks like whoever lives around here able to mow the sides of the trail. Love when people do that. It's a really, really nice gesture to people who use the trails. Now, what I haven't been on the lookout for are any telegraph poles. I don't know if there are any or if they're all gone. But I do know on most rail trails, if you look for them, you can usually find a couple. Catch is trying to figure out, is it on the right or the left? That's cool, farm. Okay, there's a clearing here. You can see that. It's the kind of thing that I love seeing on farms. So you've got the barn that's all collapsed there. Yeah. And then you've got the old wooden barn with some of the boards missing. This reminds me of old oil paintings that I saw when I was a kid. This is definitely another causeway here. Looks like we got a little railway bridge. Oh, this one's made out of concrete, so I think that must be a replacement. Oh, that's very pretty. Yeah, this is pretty wide here. It's like a country road. Guess the difference is that on a road like this, I know I'm probably not going to be expecting to run into too many vehicles, which is nice. We're at here, Old Brook Road. Cool road. Looks like they've widened the trail here recently too. That's all fresh. Wow, that's beautiful. Oh, look at the lake. Yeah, there's Highway 7. So that's the Trans-Canada Highway there to my left. Now, I've driven on that probably hundreds of times. And truth be told, I never knew there was railway tracks over here, and never knew there was a rail trail here. It's funny how you can be in an area and spend a lot of time in an area, and you still don't know everything that's here. And that's the cool thing about getting out and exploring your scenery, is that you really do get to know your backyard a lot better. I smell a lot of campfires, so must be near a campground. The forest is definitely getting pretty dark now. Wow, pretty high up too. They must have put a lot of fill here just to keep the line straight and level for the trains. This is definitely wider than the widest section of the Ottawa Valley Recreational Trail. And yeah, I was going on about how I didn't like how wide it was, but something about this just really appeals to me. It's like I said earlier, there's something about this I just can't put my finger on, but man, I love this. Wow. Look at this old tree. It's worth a stop here. Wow, that's beautiful. Pretty cool little place. Okay, let's keep going. It's definitely got a pretty cool vibe to it. I would definitely come back and ride this again. Oh. Stop here for the cottage. No cars, all good. Pretty cool. There have been some nice surprises on this trail. It's one thing when you look up something on Google Maps and you know you can't see it through the dense foliage of the trees, but then it's another when you've also scouted out the route a little bit, but you've missed a whole bunch of things. Like, I knew there were some causeways, but I never expected to get a couple of those nice views that I've gotten. And the satellite imagery also could be a couple of years old. Maybe the trail was a little bit narrower back when that was taken, and now it's a totally different experience. And you hear me talk a lot about the positives of the rides, and that's the things, that's what I tried to take out of it. This is an experience I'm doing because I want to enjoy it. I want to come out to nature. I want to have these experiences. I want to see and smell and just be in the moment here. So why wouldn't I be positive about it? I've watched some videos where people were being a little negative, and I don't know, it's not me. I just don't see the sense in complaining. So earlier it was cloudy and rainy, and you know, I was still happy that I was out going for a ride in Eastern Ontario. And that's my takeaway out of this, is that I get to be here. I get to experience this, and I love it. Look at this hill. Wonder if that's old farmland or something up there. There's definitely something there. Yeah, an old farm. Some beautiful homes here. That's a great little area. Cars. And up ahead, looks like we've got another road. Wonder what road crossing this one is. You probably notice I don't have maps up on my phone or anything like that. I kind of like to be in the moment and just get to experience the trail. So you never quite know what you're gonna get. What is this? Old Brook Road. Wait a minute. Is this a twilight zone? Didn't I just pass Old Brook Road? Nah. I must be seeing things. I'm probably not remembering well my old age. Now this is pretty dark here. This is kind of cool though. I love this. This to me just reminds me of summers of my youth. Riding through the country roads. First on the old BMX, then the 10-speed. By the time I got my first mountain bike, I don't really think I took it through too many places that would have looked like this. I know a couple of times went camping up at Sharbot Lake and brought our bikes up with us. Back before they banned bikes on the trails, I remember I took my bike through the trails at Sharbot Lake a couple of times, so kind of cool to have those memories. You can't do that anymore. And that trail wasn't easy to bike on, but I did the whole loop, even got up to the lookout with my bike, and yeah, it's a good memory. Wow, that's really cool forest. Really high, it's very flat. Looks like a bunch of grass. Oh, it must be for grazing. Must be for livestock. This is very different. And I know I've said it many times, but that's the mark of a good rail trail. Variety. Keeps you interested. Keeps your senses peaked. And yeah, that'd be a nice view there to my left if it wasn't so covered over. Oh, there we go, another road crossing. This definitely isn't going to be Old Brook Road. What do we got this time? This is Old Brook Road. What? Better close my mouth before I get bugs in it. All right. Either people just aren't very creative when it comes to naming roads, or I'm definitely in the twilight zone. This is a cool little section. Short little causeway. Little cars. Let's keep on going. So much fun, man. I have missed doing a longer ride on a rail trail. There are a lot of stop signs in this part of it. But I get why. Legs are feeling good. Cardio is doing great. I have done a great job of my cardio this year, especially compared to the last 2 years. First year, man, that was a struggle. I remember just sort of, when I started talking in the videos, just being completely out of breath. And that sort of progressed to where I found a way where I can do the rhythm and breathe and talk and keep it up, and it doesn't faze me at all. It's a great feeling. So you know you're doing good when you're not really concentrating all that much on your breathing, and you've still got good oxygen flow through to your whole body. Oh, this is cool. I wonder what that's about. Oh, a little bird flying ahead of me on the trail. Yeah, I'm just really digging how this is just winding through the countryside like this. Now, I know at some point this is going to get real close to Highway 7 for a while, and it should parallel Highway 7 for a good stretch. I think I'm probably getting close to that. I feel like I'm heading back north again. Oh, smelling some more campfires. So I do know that there is a campground by a lake when we get closer to Perth. I'm starting to wonder if maybe that campground is what I'm getting close to. If so, it might be some views of the lake here. Oh, got another road. Wonder what one this one is. Brook Valley Road. All right. Definitely some very creative naming for the roads around here. That's cool. So not quite as wide. And once again, this trail has a little bit of a different flavor to it. I'm definitely losing my sunlight. I can't tell if it's the clouds or if it's just starting to get too low, or the woods are just getting thicker, but yeah, at least we've got some blue patches in the sky. It's not all totally covered over, which is just great. Oh, washboarding. Good, we are good. I can hear traffic, so I'm definitely getting closer to Highway 7. Which means I must be starting to get closer to Perth. Oh, there's Highway 7. I can see it to my left. Stop. Barely see that one. Okay, we're good. This is fun. Wow, that's a nice field. Look at that. Hopefully the camera picks that up. We got driveways ahead. Oh, must have been something here before. I see a big parking lot there. Maybe, I'm not sure what that was. That's a really big parking lot, so a service station maybe? Back before Highway 401 was built, Trans-Canada would have been used a lot more. And I mean, it's used a lot right now, but there would have been a lot of traffic on that. So it's quite possible that could have been a service station. And right beside the highway now. Good, we are good. Really starting to feel the pressure of losing the sun now. And a big part of that is just that stabilization on the 360 camera won't be as good when it's low light. Now I've set everything to auto, which I don't normally do, just in hopes that the camera will throw a little bit of extra gain into the picture if it gets dark, and maybe help out the stabilization a bit more. But I won't know till I see it. And for anybody who that kind of thing is above their head, just Cole's note version is, I put it on automatic and I'm hoping for the best. But almost to the end of the trip, and man, that was a good ride, at least so far. Had the sun come out for a bit, got to see some great sights, a lot of variety on the trail itself, which just keeps the brain stimulated. Even right here, this is pretty cool. Come out of the forest into a clearing like this. So this is another causeway. So this is marshlands all around me. Yeah, I like this. This is a good one. Definitely worth the trip out. What do we got here? Oh, old railway bridge. Slow down for this. Just a shorty. I like these shorties though. Oh, wow. I guess Mr. Deer was going for a bath. Must have scared the crap out of him. Feel bad about that, but it wasn't on purpose. This is very nice to ride on right here. This is really easy. Oh, a railway bridge. I always slow down for these. To me, there are two things that I always look for when I ride on rail trail: the causeways and the railway bridges. Those are the two things that I just love experiencing. Bathurst 5th concession. Back in civilization again. Pretty cool old car. Nice field. Nobody here. Start hearing the creatures of the night around me now. Really pushing my boundaries for how much light's around when I get to the end of this ride, but I did the best I could to get out as quickly as I could after work and get out here to the area. I got super lucky just to have clouds part and just the weather that I have had here today. With all the humidity and heat that we've been having the last little while, today is the first real opportunity I have to do a real long ride like this and just not be like drenched in sweat. And I did try to get out earlier, but I picked up a new SD card for my camera just so that I could record this ride in one go without having to swap cards. And the delivery came about an hour after I had hoped it would come. So I lost an hour after work. Yeah, this is very nice here. This is that crushed gravel kind of stuff I've seen on a lot of rail trails. Oh wow, little creek there to my right, just following where the old tracks would have been. And marshlands. So this, it would be another causeway. There's a lot of them on this trail. "10 kilometers to Perth, McDonald's." You know what? I don't normally eat McDonald's, but I think tonight it deserves an exception. Man, so glad to be back out on rail trails. I miss this. You know, it's one thing to just go through the winter time and not do any big rides, but then spending the spring and not having the opportunity to get out. But it makes me appreciate it more. I will take that all day, every day. So I'm not going all the way into Perth. The trailhead for the trail actually is a little bit west of the town of Perth. So that's where I'm going to be calling it a ride. That's a neat little trail. I know I've said that a few times, but I enjoyed this one. Had a little bit of everything. That's all you can ask for. Even right now, it's a totally different vibe than earlier on. I'm like right by the highway. I've got all the traffic there to my left. And I know somewhere to my right, there's still some live railway tracks. Legs are feeling good. Yeah, this is what summer's about. Made pretty good time. Not too much traffic on the trail, which is always kind of nice. Not having to move over for a bunch of people or ATVs. Kind of had this all to myself. One of the joys of riding these trails is they're pretty flat. She is getting dark though. So 2 kilometers left. I just saw the mile marker there. Looks like we're good. Nice forest canopy. remember this rest stop. I have stopped here so many times. Always neat to come to an area from a different perspective, a different point in your life, and a different way of going there. Like, in a million years, I would have never thought that that little rest area, I'd ever be biking out here. And yet, here I am today doing it. Yeah, back when I lived in Ottawa, we'd stop between Ottawa and Sharbot Lake, usually there. You know, there's always a couple of places like that that you kind of mark out in your head saying, hey, I'm gonna get to this spot here, we'll take a break, grab a drink, something to eat, and then keep on keeping on. That was one of them for me. What do we have here? Omnia, Canada. That's a very big building. Not too sure what Omnia, Canada is, but very big. What I do know is I'm probably, about a kilometer away from the trailhead now, so always sad whenever I'm ending a ride. Wow. Second deer. So, all the way from Sharbot Lake to Perth, the really, really rough section to begin with at Sharbot Lake, all the way here to the trailhead in Perth with this beautiful crushed gravel. This is it. This is the end of my ride and the end of my time on the Tay-Havelock Trail. This is it. This is the Tay-Havelock Trailhead, just outside of Perth, Ontario. So I made it all the way here from Sharbot Lake, and man, that is a good feeling to actually get here and see this. Just to know that I finally conquered the Tay-Havelock Trail. Ever since I first came out last year and accidentally rode on part of it, I wanted to come out here and do the whole stretch between the two towns. Feels good to say I've finally done it.